Okay, here we are back in Legend Heroes Trails from Zero. So we have a pair of quests to tackle, which is the search for an important person. So we have to go meet Representative Campbell for that one. But we need to get some flowers. Simple, right? Surely this will be done very, very swiftly, and absolutely nothing can go wrong. So, let's head on over to the residential district, since that's where Campbell lives. This is the house of Representative Campbell who sent the request. We're searching for someone important, right? It sounded like the representative was freaking out. Hey, doesn't Mademoiselle's Gramps live around these parts? You happen to know this Campbell guy? Well, about as much as fellow neighbors would know each other. Representative Campbell is an ambitious man. He's so driven by his passion for politics that he often brushes aside everything else. I see. That matches the way I envisioned him in my head. Either way, he's requesting our assistance. Let's try asking about it if he's home. So I believe his daughter ran away, if I remember this one correctly. Unbelievable. What a foolish thing to do. We must find a way to retrieve her, Representative Campbell. Excuse me, gentlemen. We're here regarding the support request. Ah, you're the CPD something or other section. What a relief. We were becoming so desperate that we would be willing to scrape the bottom of the barrel for assistance. Just a moment. Are you not Ellie, Mayor McDowell's granddaughter? Why have you come with them? Spend some time, Representative. As it stands, I am currently employed by the CPD. I visit you as a member of the Triple S today. Is that the case? So be it. I suppose the mayor is neutral, nothing to be concerned about then. But, Representative, the Imperial faction's cunning members rely on underhanded tactics. What if they catch wind of this incident? Guessing you're in a position that can cause some political strife, Mademoiselle. Speaking with Diet members is always such a pain. Excuse me, Representative Campbell, could you tell us what happened, at least what details you're able to share about the situation? It's just, you look troubled, so... Seem to recall the support request seeking assistance in searching for an important person. Yes, that's right. Well, you see, I've run into a bit of a snag. I suppose I have no choice but to explain the situation to you. But let me make one thing clear to you. This is a politically sensitive matter. The Republican faction has been placed into a difficult situation. This must remain strictly confidential. Understood. We promised to keep this under wraps. We swear to remain silent about the investigation, Representative. Very well, then listen up. A certain person affiliated with their faction has disappeared. Could you elaborate? It so happens to be my very own daughter. She has run away from home along with our maid. All that fuss just to end up telling us his daughter ran away. By daughter, you're referring to Carla? We were classmates in Sunday school. Really? Well, the representative and his daughter have never been on particularly good terms. The relationship seems to be entirely comprised of petty arguments. However, the timing could be worse. Our main supporter, Hayway, was raided this morning. Dealing with the aftermath has been cumbersome. That utterly foolish daughter of mine, I would have normally leave her to her own devices during a hectic period like this. However, recent reports have shown the Mafia spats becoming more dangerous. It's far too dangerous to leave two girls wandering around on their own. Yeah, I'd be worried about your daughter's well-being if I were you too. Not only that, but if this were to become publicized, the Imperial faction could use it as ammunition against me. You can't let your guard down during the diet, so I'd prefer to avoid any scandals. And with that, I request you, the Triple S, to discreetly apprehend and return my daughter to me. It all comes down to protecting his reputation, then. Guess that's just how these bigwigs think. I already assumed as much. Well, it's clear that you're concerned for her. There's a fair chance she might be in harm's way after all. Agreed. We understand the situation, sir. We accept your request to search for your daughter. Oh, thank Adios. Bring her back immediately. I can't promise that we'll be able to do it quickly, but we'll look at your daughter and provide protection until we've safely brought her home. Very well, I suppose I'll rely on you for the time being. Proceed however you like. I will leave his daughter left a note in her room. That note may prove useful to your investigation. Thank you for letting us know. We'll take a look at it then. So I think this is her room then. Looks like she left her message in this notebook. Let's see what it says. I've had enough of you and your insistence on doing only as you please. So now I shall do as I please. Goodbye, Carla. P.S. I'm taking the maid with me. Knowing you, you'll surely go hungry with no one here to prepare your meals. Where do we even begin? Dad's a real piece of work, but his daughter seems like trouble in her own way. Representative Campbell is the type to put his work ahead of his home life, and now that I think about it, Carla would often complain about her father in Sunday school. I wouldn't be surprised if his sudden falling out caused her to run away from home. However, the note fails to provide a clue about where we should begin the search. The only detail was that she ran away from home by her own volition. Based on our note, I think it'd be fair of us to assume something. So... she just up and went. I mean, there wasn't really notice or anything, was there? She must have run away unexpectedly. As Ellie mentioned, a sudden falling out may have caused her to run away. She was pretty angry too, based on the note. I would consider that a reasonable deduction. I figure if she planned this whole thing out, the note would have been longer and filled with more resentment. How long ago do you think she ran away from home? But it's been too long. Our search will be more difficult if she's gone far. It's impossible for us to tell with the information we have at this time. Let's try to get some more information from the representative before we come to any conclusions. Well, I guess it's time to get the shovels and start digging up some dirt. We should return here and go over the details once we've finished. That's the most heartless part of this entire thing. Nothing else to interact with. Between the dye meeting and the Hayway incident, this morning was absolutely exhausting. I had even more appointments in the afternoon, so I came home to rest at home for a bit. I did. I couldn't find my daughter or her maid anywhere. Just as I was beginning to think something was amiss, I found her note. Seems like she's the defiant type. Doubt he'd have any idea as to where she would go. Representative Camp runs a strict household. For instance, he'll enforce small rules like everybody having to eat breakfast together. It's actually quite obvious that his daughter despises such trivialities. I see. His suffocating nature could very well be the cause of their strong relationship, and despite that, she still adhered to his rule and joined him for breakfast. How am I privy to such knowledge? I ate breakfast with them, of course. Now that we have the information, shall we return to Carla's room and continue to analyze for further clues? Good plan, Tio. In all seriousness, shouldn't you have sent someone to the train station or the airport to, look for her? How long ago do you think she ran away from home? Hope it hasn't been too long. Our search will be much more difficult if she's gone far. Good question. Going by what the representative told us, they probably left this morning because they were there for breakfast. She's present for breakfast, but she had left by the afternoon. I think it's safe to conclude she departed sometime in the morning. We should still be able to catch up with her. Still don't know where she ran off to, though. Think we should ask her friends? Could be they got a clue or two for us. No, I don't think we have time for that. If we consider the circumstances, there's definitely a place she would have visited. We know she left this morning without having planned to. Considering that, there's one place in particular she likely had to visit first. And that's the bank to get money. I think she may have gone to the IBC. Makes sense to me. Our escapee probably needed some dough for her getaway. The IBC would be a pretty typical first stop for running away from home. If she suddenly left, then she wouldn't have had much time to pack. The IBC is certainly a possibility. Shall we depart for the IBC then? She may still be there. Let's get there ASAP. IBC is down here. Alright, we made it. Man, it always feels like we're stepping into a whole other, much more impressive world when we come here. I presume the representative's runaway daughter might have stopped here. Shall we inquire with the receptionist? Yes, let's ask Lanfei if she knows anything about it. So Lanfei is one of the ones I did talk to in advance after the power outage, just to make sure that this would be a fresh dialogue if we need something. Hello again, Miss McDowell. Do you need help with anything? Hi, Lanfei. I'm just here to ask you a quick question. Did a lady by the name of Carla stop by here today? I think she may have been with a maid. You're right. Carla did come in earlier. She told me she had urgent business to discuss with Mr. Qua. Or with Miss Qua. With Belle. Yes, Miss Qua agreed to a meeting, so I directed Carla up to the top floor. This all happened about an hour ago. Do you mind if we go ask Maria Belle for some details? Truth be told, we're conducting an investigation. Oh yes, I think it should be okay to talk with her right now. I believe she's currently in the CEO's office. Thank you very much. Alright, let's get cracking. Miss Qua just wrapped up with the meeting a few moments ago. You should be able to find her in the CEO's office. You may proceed to the 16th floor using the elevator over there. So in case you're wondering, yes, I did talk to Maria Belle to make sure that her dialogue was accurate for post-power outage, so... I'm so sick of this. I've been stuck in meetings all days thanks to those Revauche buffoons. Fortunately enough, I don't think their little raid will affect our stock prices negatively. I almost want to kick down their door and demand compensation for all the hassle they put me through. Your life never seems to get any easier. You could say that again. It doesn't help that Father is who knows how many cells away right now either. But I digress. Did you do something, Ellie? Judging by the crowd you've brought with you, it doesn't seem to be a personal issue. Yes, there's something I need to ask you about. A woman named Carla should have stopped by the IBC earlier today. Did you happen to see her? Carla? Yes, she definitely came here not too long ago. I acquainted with her, given that we were both in the upper echelons of society. She claimed that she had an emergency and wished to speak with me directly. She proceeded to withdraw every last mirror out of her savings account. Damn, we ran the money. Why did she have to speak directly to you for that, Mariabelle? You think the receptionist would have been able to handle her request just fine? It has to do with the amount she withdrew. Under normal circumstances, you would need to fill out the appropriate paperwork. Today was an exception. As you might be able to surmise, I was unable to disclose the exact amount she withdrew. That said, it was in the hundreds of thousands of mira. That is an exorbitant amount of money. Truth is, Carla's attempting to run away from home. We've been tasked with bringing her back safely. Do you know where she might have gone, Belle? Well, that would explain her rash behavior. Judging by the amount she withdrew, I would assume she's planning to relocate to a foreign country. That could be it. Is it possible that she had a destination in mind? Well, now that I think about it, I recall a conversation between her and her maid about sightseeing in Gransel. I believe Carla ordered her maid to make hotel reservations there. Gransel? Isn't that Laburl's capital city? So she's ditching this joint for Laburl? She must have departed for the airport then. We may be able to arrive in time if we proceed with haste. We must notify the airport's receptionist. Right, we have to hurry. We're sorry to have bothered you. We appreciate your cooperation. See you later, Belle. Sure. They sure know how to keep busy. So of course we're gonna go back here and talk to her. Carla turned to her maid and said they were off to go sightseeing in Gransel. If her intention is really to run away from home, why did she blurt that out in front of me? Not that I was paying much attention given how overloaded I am at the moment. Sorry, it seems we caught you at a bad time. So could it possibly be a red herring of sorts? Oh well. Only one way to find out, you know? I think it's over the road. Going on a trip to going on a day trip to Fury is exhausting as it sounds, trust me. Okay, wifey's waiting for me back home. I want to get there ASAP so the two of us can relax together. Dang it, I was wanting to stay in Crossville for a while longer. Hurry up, if I'm bored soon, we're gonna miss our flight. Hey, it's up to Anton whether he wants to stay depressed forever or actually learn from his rejection this time. As his friend, all I can really do is keep watching over the poor guy. Hey, thanks again for all your help yesterday. Anton, are you returning home? Sadly so, there's nothing left for me here since Fran rejected me and all. Truly unfortunate. Don't worry about me, I'm used to this sort of thing. Seeing that pure smile form on her lips, she talked about the person she loves, it basically killed me inside. The person she loves. Should we tell him that she meant the Sergeant Major? Well, I better leave it be. We mentioned that, and I bet things get more complicated than we want to deal with. Agreed, I feel a little bad for him, but it's probably for the best. So I'm trying to remember what he was doing in Cold Steel, because he had to have been out for years. Like, I think this is only like 1 year after everything in Sky. From first chapter, that is. And we know Cold Steel goes for, what is it, 3 years or something like that? From when Rain first enters school to... Actually, it have to be even longer than that. It have to be 4 years, because they put in that date mechanic. Oftentimes, both of your passengers like to take their pets with them on their flights. We transport them in individual cages with all their luggage, but they always start barking and crying the moment we land. I understand people like to bring their pets with them. Personally, I prefer not having to handle transporting them. Now, the thing is, Cold Steel chronologically has already started, so I think... Yeah, I think Cold Steel 1 is going on right now, and Cold Steel 2 will be going on during Azure. Your travels have become quite pleasant over the past few years, hasn't it? God dwells in the sky, you know. Perhaps we received her blessings through our endeavors. Excuse me, do you have a moment? We have a bit of an emergency. Oh dear, what is it? You see, an individual by the name of Carla Campbell should have boarded an outgoing flight to Laburl. We were wondering if that airship has finished boarding yet. You said Carla Campbell? If you'll give me a moment, please. I'm terribly sorry, but Carla Campbell wasn't listed as a passenger. Are you positive? That's strange. I could have sworn that she should have been on this flight. Me too. There's only one flight scheduled today that's signed for Laburl, right? Correct. It seems it's not departed yet. Pardon me. I knew it. You're with the police, aren't you? Wait, aren't you Marcia, one of the maids that represent Campbell's mansion? Are you the maid that ran away with Carla? Yes, that's right. You see, Lady Carla never intended to go to Laburl in the first place. That was merely a rumor she spread to throw her father off her tracks. In actuality, she plans to live in the home of an acquaintance in the Republic. She's going to Calor. Crap, she must have gone to the station then. If you hurry, you might make it in time. I'm sorry, my lady's caused so much trouble for everyone, but if at all possible, please bring Lady Carla back home. Despite she said she doesn't really want to leave Crossbell. So she's got her reasons for all this, huh? Well, time to roll. We'll bring her back for you, don't worry. If she's Republic bound, the train will be departing in a matter of minutes. There's no time to waste then. Thanks, Marcia. You were a big help. Marcia, can you go inform the representative of what's happened? You can leave bringing Carla back to us. Okay, please. I'm leaving Lady Carla in your hands. Don't quite understand the situation, but this Carla definitely hasn't taken any flights at our airport. We look forward to serving you the next time you're looking to fly. Here at the ticket counter, we also handle immigration registrations, so you're able to check your baggage before boarding. Please rest assured, we'll make sure your luggage and you entrust to us is safely transported to your destination. Yeah, it's just gotta keep the U.S. Department of Energy away from it. I'm hoping one day that reference is forgotten, because that is awkward as all hell, man. I'm grateful to the Empire for blessing the world with so many beautiful trains, just I can't forgive them for developing those railway guns, supposed to transport goods, people, and for train fans like me, death and destruction have to be on the railways. My beloved and I finally left, we're free of the Empire and its dodgy old prejudices. My father won't be able to reach us here, now we can both live happily ever after. If I'd fallen in love with a woman with the same social class, my dear wouldn't have had to cut ties with her family. I can't help but feel awful about it. Still, when I see her radiant smile, my fears and guilt are washed away by her love. It's a never-ending cycle. Here I am again, waiting for more packages. The sad thing is, I think I'm actually getting used to all these late arrivals. I suppose being able to savor the wait is the mark of a pro, right? We plan to split the workload with Wenzel and the others and start our investigation. Listen if you can figure anything out. Still don't have any concrete leads about the pills, so let's not mention that to them yet. I'm about to start investigating that mess with the Mafia. You lot seem to be in a hurry. Came to the station to see my grandpa off. Working out of state's gonna be hard on him, so I'm here to provide some moral support before he leaves. The Imperial company I used to work for when I was younger still contacts me for consultations fairly often. It's a demanding job, but it keeps me sharp. At my age, it's more than welcome. I think we can afford a short break before we start inspecting the Airbonia-bound train. Don't let that break get you too comfortable now. When you stay sharp, Vigilant. As stringent as ever. Thanks for helping out with that Calvardian train inspection, Quattro. I know just how busy of a man you are. I wouldn't say that. Compared to the chaos that was the anniversary festival, this has been a walk in the park. My boyfriend, well, ex-boyfriend, dumped me, so I decided to try to ease the heartbreak by traveling abroad. This isn't the end for me. Just watch, I'll find a foreign guy that's 1,000 times more charming and handsome than that jerk. I plan to visit Calvert's Eastern Quarter. If I can get to see that gambler Jack stage play, that'd be fantastic. It's based off this best-selling novel with the same name. Excuse me, I understand you may be in a hurry. Please try to refrain from running on the platforms. Sorry, could you give me just a moment, please? Attention all passengers, please step back from the edge of the platform once the departing train's bells begin to ring. For your safety, please refrain from leaning forward as trains pass through, and as always, thank you for your cooperation. You know, it wasn't that long ago that Ereboni and Calvert were on rather sour terms with each other around the time of the 100 Years' War. During that period, railway operations shut down, travelers lingered in Crossbow were forced to stay put. After all that blew over, the system was majorly improved to prevent a similar situation from ever happening again. The Calvert-bound passenger train will be departing from Platform 1. If you wish to board, please make your way over to the platform now or wait for the next train. Now we do have the crossbow times, just want to make sure of that. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, like, I wasn't sure if that one was like a decoration or something. I want to make sure there was a 2 on the other one before we did anything. Platform 1, the train bound for the Republic is now departing. If you are not boarding the train, please step back to the center of the platform. Wait a sec, isn't that the train the representative's daughter is supposed to be on? We can still make it, let's get on. We cut that close. I wonder if we'll get in trouble for not following protocol. Officers should be allowed to board trains during emergencies, so we don't have to worry about that. However, the problem remains. What do we do now? The plan was to convince Carla to return home, correct? Yeah, well, we can't ride on this train forever, you know. Still gotta drop off those drugs at St. Ursula, ain't that right? That's true. We have not come this far to simply give up. Yeah, I know. The next stop is Altair, located at the western edge of Calvert. We should have about 30 minutes. Till then, let's keep trying to persuade her to come home. Roger, I'm no quitter. Alright, I hope our words can get through to her. We're returning home to Altair after a nice short vacation. My wife and kid are waiting for me. I can't wait to see their faces again. Incredible. Start behaving right this instant. So apparently there's such a die-hard view out here that the kid is awestruck and we're not allowed to see it. The inspection officer was eyeing everyone up and down. It's a routine thing, but it still grinds my gears. You sure are impatient. We still have a long way to go before we reach the Republican capital, so you should relax a bit. Finally, our big railroad trip. I gotta capture every memory. This place is pretty glum. Makes it sort of hard to read in peace. Maybe I should move to a window seat. When you talk Calvert, you have to mention their gourmet dishes. Of course, their hot springs, too. I'm so excited for this girl's only trip. Trust me, my husband would have been a massive buzzkill. It's Carla. Finally found her. Now we just have to persuade her to return home. The odds of her listening to reason still seem slim. Overhead State is my homeland. You see, that's where I'm taking my grandchild. Grandpa's hometown sounds super awesome. I couldn't stop talking about how huge the farms are there. I'm sorry, I can't. Can't get enough of those, I tell you what. Don't tell me Marcia missed the train. Guess I'm all alone now. Can I handle this? Long time no see, Carla. Ellie, what are you... I mean, what a coincidence running into you here. Are these your friends? Oh, are you planning to spend a day or two in the Republic? Well, Carla, how should I start this? Yeah, we're on a trip to the Republic. Yes, exactly. I thought it'd be fun to see the Republic's National Orchestra with everyone. Really, then we can accompany each other until we arrive at the Republican capital. So thankful I ran into you, Ellie. Truth be told, I feel a bit down. After all, I'm alone on this giant train, and... Alright, looks like we've lowered our guard. Why exactly are you here, Carla? Well, it's a long story. My father's always ordered me around, filling my life with rules and more rules, once he doesn't even respect himself. And this morning was a perfect example of it. I'll never forgive him for what he did. Which was? Whatever it was, sounds bad. After breakfast, he walked into my room without knocking. That's it. Of course, not just that. What if I was changing? More importantly, Father's the one always lecturing me about how I should always knock, even though he throws a fit when I forget to do so. This morning, he called me straight into my room, commanding me to do this and that, and to attend a dinner party in the evening, and he pries on every single small detail of my private life. It's like he can't do anything but that. I can relate with how she feels, but this is nothing more than a misunderstanding between father and daughter. How should we handle this? Then your father's in the wrong. I can sympathize with you, Carla. You think so too? I knew leaving home was the right decision. Still, it's the first time I've ever left Crossbell. The reason I decided to go through this plan was because Marcia said she'd accompany me. I think I get the gist of this mess, but she still looks hesitant, right? She never had the strongest heart to begin with. Sure, she ran out of the house in a hurry, but I bet with every step she became more and more uneasy. And she should almost be at her breaking point. It's dangerous to travel all alone. Take this! I was wondering why I still hadn't seen Marcia. No, she must have betrayed me, didn't she? Unacceptable. I specifically ordered not to tell anyone. Please calm down, Carla. It's true that Marcia informed us of the situation. That's only because she's worried sick about your safety. Despite what she says, she doesn't really want to leave Crossbell. Her words, not mine. Marcia, she really said that? I'm leaving Lady Carla in your hands. That was her farewell before we made our way to the station to find you. Well, I think it'd be best if you had another talk with your pops. Stay right away. Want to feel better to say what you want to say to his face. You may be right. I started to think that there was no one at my side. Look around you, there isn't. But if Marcia's waiting for me, I don't mind returning home. Evelyn, perhaps you could stay with me a bit longer and let me get everything out of my system. Besides, I need to start thinking about what I should say to Father. Sure, we can do that. We should be near Altair, but we still have the ride back. If you want the company, we'd be glad to oblige. Lloyd and the others transferred in Altair for the return trip. Then, 30 minutes later... finally back. That was a long trip in more ways than one. Sorry for the trouble I've caused. I truly thank you for listening to what I had to say. Don't worry about it. Who's to say we can't handle consultations? You can count on the Triple S to lend you an ear whenever you need it. Thank you. How dare you worry me at a time like this, you daft girl? Speak for yourself, Father. If you had tried to come find me yourself, it would have been one thing, but to think you hired other people to do it for you. Excuse me, Lady Carla. My apologies, I was just so terribly worried. You should be sorry. I'm upset with you too, Marcia. Forgive me. But I'm grateful too. Can I count on you to continue to be by my side? Of course, I'd be happy to. Thank heavens, I think I finally made up my mind. I have some conditions, Father. You must knock every time you wish to enter my room. Every time, okay? In addition, you may no longer intrude upon my private life. If you refuse, I'll be hopping right back on that train and I won't look back. Well, you have to stay home and behave yourself for a while first. So are you honoring my request, or are you refusing it? Fine, I don't want to be worried or have another falling out. I'll accept your terms. So this is the power of the something or other section. So he's calling it the... no. For the time being, allow me to thank you for safely bringing my daughter home. However, not a word of this incident is to escape your lips to anyone, am I understood? You got it. Our lips are sealed, so you can rest easy. Good. We're leaving, Carla. Don't you tell me what to do. Ellie, everyone, until we meet again. Can't thank you enough for all that you've done. Please feel free to drop by our house whenever you like. We'll welcome you with open arms. The two of them bow deeply. Guess that settles that. Even though that took forever, I'm glad we helped him out. Judging by the conversation, I think they'll work things out. What a relief. Hope you're right. I pray they'll be able to work out their differences. Anyway, we should get going now. There's still some requests we can finish up today. Good point. Let's get to it then. So, before we go forward... Hey there, did you just come back for Calvert? I'd also like to really take a trip out there someday. Well, I didn't exactly go out there for a vacation. I don't remember where we stand in terms of DP, so I am going to report this quest before going forward with the flower quest. Well, but it's in the special support section. It's been a while, Quattro. Indeed it has. Thank you again for last time, everyone. I'm on my way to perform a routine inspection of Platform 2. Weren't you on your way to Calvert? Yeah, let's call it a business trip. Oh, keep up the good work then. They say those who put the most effort are the ones who find the most success in life. Not true. I used to be really shy, but I managed to get over it after I was put in charge of making the announcements. I'm so glad they trusted me with this. It's a perfect job for me. Actually, I'm still not too sure whether the Eastern Quarter is even safe. I mean, what's full of rogues and crooks like the ones in Gambler Jack? There's been a lot of accidents lately, far too many in my book. All I want is for passengers to be safe and have pleasant travels. So in all seriousness, I haven't even looked at anything for Trails to Black to know if Gambler Jack makes an appearance or anything. I wonder if Erebony or Calvert would be better for my heartbreak vacation. Might as well pick the one with the more attractive men, but I'm not exactly sure how to figure that out. Well, Calvert has Spriggans. You might like that. The fact that they got their hands on Rhineford Company weaponry rubs me the wrong way. How does Revalish do it? Not even the CGF were able to buy those heavy machine guns. Wait, did you step off a train that came in from the Republic? If you have to make one-day trips out of state, you must be really busy. Well, we didn't have much choice concerning the support request. While you're here, have there been any developments in the raid investigation? Actually, we found out that not too long ago some really dangerous stuff was smuggled in the state from Erebonia. How dangerous are we talking? Some of those Rhineford-made heavy machine guns were used in the raid, so very. Ravash must have planned the raid well in advance. They were ready. Figures that's how they got those guns. Despite their careful planning, Hayway still managed to drive them into a corner. Exactly, and that's what strikes me as odd. For a supposedly premeditated raid, the performance was rather lackluster. We need to keep that consistency in mind as we continue to investigate. It'll be lonely without you home, Grandpa, but it's okay. I know your trip's gonna be great. Just do your best out there. It's about time for the Empire-bound train to depart. I'm a little sad to leave, I should get myself to the platform. Even Mary McDowell uses the railway whenever he has appointments in the Empire Republic. Sure, traveling by should be faster, but the tickets are way more expensive. We're blessed with such a frugal mayor. Ironically, it's the other way around, the US where the plane tickets are much cheaper than train. Bus service provides transportation at the Erebonian and Calvardian border gates, if you prefer an alternative to the rail lines. If you have a minute, I can explain the alternative methods of transportation that can assist you in your return home. If you haven't missed your train, please don't hesitate to ask me for assistance. I remember you guys. Weren't you heading to Calvert? Do you vacation a lot or something? I'm sure you're used to traveling by train. I'm sure once you're used to trailing my train, it can become dull. I recommend you read a book to kill the time. Actually, I finished this novel not too long ago. Here, you can take it. There you go, Glad 13. So I think there's one left. Guys, you have to leave again? Sorry, Key, we gotta take care of something. We'll be back in the evening, okay? Want us to bring you back some souvenirs? No, that's okay. All of you coming home safe is the best gift I could get. Kia, my heart. Her smile has pierced my very soul. The grim atmosphere ran away at the first sight of her smile. Huh? He's saying as long as I'm here, the place is not untouchable. Have to reward him with a slab of meat or something. I think they said that last time you examined him. Strigapy. Third class, I'll make sure your train was transferred. Whoa. Thing is, she doesn't need to be that mobile. Someone who does need to be that mobile, though, is him. So I will go ahead and do this, even though it's going to cost me my 5% evasion. Most importantly, we got a little bit of money from that, so let's go see if we can finally afford some of those things from Imelda. What's this? Imelda's using a communication device installed beneath the counter. What? Don't joke with me, you old fool. I've had a buyer lined up for ages. It's ready, isn't it? Send it here immediately. Do I make myself clear? Damn it, that geezer hung up on me. Good morning, ma'am. Did you need us to help with anything? It's you four. Yes, actually, you see, I think the stubborn old kook I know has finally gone senile. Oh, I understand. ADOs must have sent you four to assist me. Yes, oh yes, you will work wonderfully. Come again? I have a bad feeling about this. A feeling? No, it is a certainty. Are you free now by chance? Are you? You are? Splendid? No, wait, we actually have somewhere to be. Oh, I'm sure you do. I bet it's not for anything urgent. After all, you had time to step by here. Okay, you got me. Might be correct to presume that you have a job for us, Imelda. Sharp girl, not that I would expect anything less from old McDowell's granddaughter. I do, in fact, have something for you to do. Needless to say, I would make it worth your while. That's not the part I'm worried about. Fine, then. We can at least hear what you have in mind for us. Let's get down to it. All I need you to do is go pick up a doll and deliver it to me. A doll? By that, do you mean... I do, one from Rosenberg Studio, which you'll find on the outskirts of the Northern Mountain Path. Actually, it's no fake like the one at the Schwartz auction. It's a genuine Rosenberg doll, one of his newest ones in fact, and it's in absolute mint condition. Oh, whoa, back up. Don't those things go for tens of thousands of Mira? A single Rosenberg doll is worth the average cross-bellon's entire annual income. Yes, well, I'm contracted as that studio's sales agent. The only problem is that the Meister is an old fool who despises any human interaction. I went to great lengths to find a buyer for his latest doll, and he has the nerve to start complaining now. Well, I'm not sure if we can solve that exact problem. We should be able to bring back the doll for you. I'm curious about one thing, though. Why is the Meister suddenly against selling it? Well, the buyer is simply problematic. Truth be told, he's an infamous broker that always resells rare works of art at exorbitantly high prices. I can only assume that the old coot is put off by that. As the artist, I can hardly blame him. I know, guys, this one might be a bit out of our league. Excuse me? Goodness, you youngsters these days are so unbelievably lazy. Come now, I'm paying for your help. I have no doubt you can change that man's callous heart and safely retrieve the doll. Well, Rosenberg Studio, huh? I guess I'm a bit curious about Ren. Might be some kind of connection there with Kia as well. We can't promise that we'll get the job done since we have things to take care of, but if you're okay with that, we accept. Fine, fine, I suppose that'll have to do. Well, then I leave this case in your hands, dearest. Try not to disappoint. Right, I have some news about your deadline. Due to the buyer's special circumstance, it was bumped up to today, so we're trying to make it snappy. Do it for dear old Imelda. Up go the expectations yet again. Indeed. But since we have prior obligations, there's no harm in walking away if it seems impossible. So this is your warning that this is not a normal quest. So we need to go out the northern path towards Maine. I went the wrong way, didn't I? Nope, this is the right one. Let's go to church and pray. We're gonna need all the help we can get. Tamil and Hamel come here to play quite often, but I admit I sometimes have trouble telling them apart from a distance. Lately, I felt the crossbows become more dangerous than in past years. Here at the cathedral, we're responsible for the safety of the school and children attending Sunday school, so we have to be ever vigilant. Hey, Tail, what's the plan today? Running around so tired. Let's just chat with that one sister instead. We got permission to play here on the days we don't have Sunday school. Well, it's kind of a waste to have a playground like this and not use it. Thing is, since we weren't able to explore the peripheral regions, I don't know if I'll be able to fit it in this video, because truth be told, I want to end Zero this year. At least me playing it. It may take time to upload stuff, so yeah, hopefully Azure gets to go a little bit more smoothly. And Azure I know I have to really haul ass for, because what's the other one that comes out like 2 months later? Yeah, I'm gonna be booked next summer. Archbishop Imelda is also outraged by the incident in the city. He's relieved no one got injured, but having so many live in fear over a selfish squabble is something he can't tolerate. Those Mafia lunatics, how could they start a gunfight in the middle of the city? They're absolutely mad. Oh, Adios, please protect us hardworking merchants from the horrible schemes of such wicked men. The Archbishop is deeply disheartened by the incident in the city. The immoral deeds of the wicked pain him like nothing else. I heard that the Mafia started to move. I'm relieved no citizens got caught up in their antics, but still, such tomfoolery. Oh, Adios, please deliver mankind from the hardships brought by such strife. I feel like we have more people than usual show up to pray today. The commotion over at the harbor must have stirred up some anxiety among those living in the area. Why, hello, you two. Did something happen? You've got such grave looks on your faces. No, it's nothing really. Definitely can't bring in the pills we found in Crossbow City. Is that so? Well, in any event, remember to keep a smile on your face when you're out, no matter how bad things get. Lots of people rely on the special sports section. You can't go worrying them with that gloom and doom surrounding you. You have a good point there. Thank you very much for the advice, Sister Marble. Right now I'm going quiet because I'm trying to figure out if I'll have time to do Joaquin stuff in this video or not. This one's gonna be really tricky to figure out. Mr. Quinn, sorry to bother you. The police? That's right, sir. We're from the special support section coming about your request. Well then, I want you to bring me 3 different kinds of flowers to place on the graves. Would there be any chance you could take this request on for me right now? We can start right away, sir. Glad to hear it. Get straight to the point. Got pen and paper on you? I'll tell you which flowers you need to collect. Ready for the first one? Yes. Teal, mind writing it down? Roger. First, the Leavis flower. You'll find them blooming near the police academy on West Crossbell Highway. Second, we have the Requiem flower. I believe Tally's general store, Talos' general store on West Street sells them. Finally, there's the Fine Elf flower. You know that watchtower near Crossbell's east exit? They're usually at the foot of it. Watchtower. Is that the gate itself, or which one? They tend to bloom near similar flowers too, so be careful not to overlook them. Once you're done, I'd like you to bring them all to me. Noted. May I ask why you specifically want these 3 flowers? Yellow, blue, and white symbolize the repose of the soul here in Crossbell. The flowers of these colors are arranged into bouquets, which are traditionally offered during funerals. Is this that language of flowers thing? I believe this is slightly different from floriography, Randy. I assume they're meant to reflect Crossbell's state colors. I think a tricolor bouquet was offered at Guy's funeral, too. Sir? What's up? You suddenly went quiet. Well, it's just that I'm a bit disappointed that your generation is so unaware of these old traditions. How do you expect to face the future without knowing your roots? Sorry about that. Sorry to disappoint you, but I ain't even from Crossbell to begin with. Well, fine then. You know what to do, off you go. Understood. Flowers for Fallen Friends started. You do realize asking a client to repeat the details of their request is especially professional. I can't say I'm very impressed. You write down locations of the flowers in your notebook. Why don't you simply check that again? Once you gather all 3 flowers, I'd like you to bring them back to me. Please and kind on you. The thought of people fighting with each other is so terribly sad to me. And should such a fight escalate into one between groups or nations, it would only result in innocent people being caught in the crossfire. I wish they resort to diplomacy and solve their differences with civility, like Liberal's Queen did with the Non-Aggression Pact. Okay. Now we need to catch the bus to go to Rosenberg. We'll talk to the people at Mainz. I'm gonna make an effort to finish the patrol. Bus stop. No shining bomb, not really a big deal. Make sure you're topped off when you go into the studio because you get the full Ouroboros greeting. Rosenberg Studio. This place seems as deserted as usual. How odd, it sounded like Imelda was in contact with someone here. Not to mention, wasn't Ren staying here too? Albeit faint, I detect a presence come from within the building. As whether it's human or not, I'm not sure, but it is definitely there. So not even you can tell, Tio. Hey, Lloyd. What if Estelle and Joshua told us about that society was legit, then... Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Style Studio must be connected to it in some way or another. Yep, looking like it. Guess it is possible. Honestly, I didn't take them seriously at first, given the absurdity of the story, but considering everything that happened with Ren, it's starting to sound more feasible. So that's what's going on here. You're the young police squad Ren was telling me about, Who's there? Where's that voice coming from? You were sent here by Imelda, I presume. You're out of luck, though. My works aren't mere second-rate antiques to be handled and pawned off by some broker like her. Leave at once. Sir, please. Well, when you put it like that, what's a guy supposed to do? He makes a fair point. Still, I suppose you did make a long trek to get here. Turning you away at the door would no doubt be unsatisfactory. Besides, I owe you a debt for all you did for Ren, so I'll give you one chance. A chance? What do you mean? What I mean is that I'd like to test the extent of your strength. The gate is unlocked. If you so wish, open it and enter. However, are you prepared? Should we go inside? From what you said, something's bound to happen once we open that gate. Don't tell me he went and set a bunch of booby traps for us. Perhaps it's something even nastier. Everyone. Behold the archaisms. I think these are the only ones you find in the game outside of the secret dungeon. Look out. Are those angels and monsters? For real, man? This is your freaking test? Brace yourselves. They're coming. If you notice, I have no CP, but I have everything scanned because this is... It's a bullshit fight, I'll be honest with you. Your success largely comes down to RNG. And I cannot emphasize that enough. So you want to make sure you're not casting this on the one angel that's going to move, and I can't tell which one it is. There's no guarantee Tio's even going to survive this, so just be mindful of that. And now I'm going to try to move Randy into body block. It's just, I don't know if it's going to work. So keep in mind they're just gonna spam lightning flash until everyone's dead. Oh, never mind. So I was close this time. Yeah, This is just an exercise in futility. So ideally, the way I'd recommend doing this is the things in the back reflect physical attacks, but they do not reflect Tio's S-craft. So you'd want to shoot that into them to basically just take a nice piece out of them. The angels, maybe weaken one of them. Scan wherever you can, when you can, and yeah. These weren't your normal monsters. Are those springs and gears? Dolls, I presume. Dolls? What kind of dolls have you been playing with? This has been a fine waste of my time. I agree. Sir. White boy at the shotgun, Jurg, owner of the Rosenberg Doll Studio. You four are the brats of the CPD Special Sports Section, I presume. Yes, sir. Did Ren tell you about us? No, I didn't need to hear about it from her. I may be a recluse if that kind of information gets around. Still not too keen about handing this over to Imelda, but a promise is a promise. Here. Thank you, sir. I was not expecting you to hand it over this quickly, considering your objection earlier. Every doll has its own destiny. Could be this doll has to pass through the hands of a boorish broker before it finds itself where it truly belongs. It's the same with people. Each and every one of our destinies rests in the hands of the goddess. Wise words. Things do make a bit more sense when you phrase it like that. Wait just a second. What was the deal with those angels and monsters you had us fight? And does this mean that Ren really is a part of that society? Detective Bandians, do you really have the time to be worried about things like that? Huh? I am a humble doll maker, nothing more, nothing less. You are attempting to confront the many illnesses plaguing this land. However, you'll find it impossible to find a cure for all of them. And despite all that, I hear you intend to gaze into the bottomless abyss. Same goes for Ren. Her destiny is not directly entwined with yours. Before you worry yourselves with Ren, isn't there someone else you should be taking priority? Sir? You mean Kia, right? Lloyd found her in a suitcase that was meant to contain one of your dolls, but appears you already know that, sir. If you know something about Keto, now's the time to spill the beans. Did you figure what I just told you? Every doll has its own destiny. It's quite possible that through some strange twist of fate, life took root in one of my creations and it became human. Come again? What are you trying to say? To be clear, no dolls with her characteristics have ever been crafted by these hands of mine, as far as I can recall. The entire incident was likely someone appropriating the Rosenberg name. That was in bad taste, sir. So you really don't know anything about Kia? At the very least, I'm not aware of how she became involved in that auction. I assume neither is Ren. Well then. Damn, here I was hoping you'd have some kind of clue for us. That reminds me, is Ren inside? No, she just left, actually. She's quite the fickle child. You'd be wasting your time to try to catch her here. Wait. I have no more to say to you four. Go on, take that doll to Imelda and tell her to deposit the mirror in the usual account. Society of Ouroboros, eh? Don't know if Element is part of it. One thing's for sure, those guys are anything but normal. I'm curious about those dolls. Even the Epstein Foundation is still incapable of creating things of that nature. And the Boreals ECF has only just begun their research into them. The Rosenberg Studio is becoming more and more mysterious with every visit. This might be too much for us to handle at this point in time. I think you might be right there. Well, we still have a job to do. Let's take this doll back to the antique shop. I'm sure Imelda is waiting for us. Sounds good. Now that I think about it, aren't there... archaisms in Revanche's basement, now that I think about it. Pass the marksman's test like that. Drop off the doll when we return back to Crossbell. Need to remember how to navigate this place. Wait, so Gantz has been MIA this whole time because he's living the high life over in Crossbell City? Honestly, what's gotten into him? Everyone at the mine is really nice to me, so I say hi to them. You know, everyone thinks my daddy's a super awesome person. Is Gantz serious? He forced the mayor to go all the way to the city for his sorry ass? Further gambling has made his head inflate to twice its size. What a mess. I don't know if people are in the mine or not. Thank goodness, they finally found Gantz. You've heard the rumors about ghosts haunting the ruins, right? Looks like he might have been spirited away or something. Heard Gans was finally found yesterday. You know, that guy would never stop ranting about how his mining work was too tough. He ended up becoming a gambling addict to blow off some steam, but I never guessed he'd go completely missing. Sorry for all the trouble he's caused you, Triple S. Please allow me to apologize for him. Ow, I'm so sore from work yesterday. Slacking off recently put me out of shape. Damn, maybe if I kick into high gear, I won't have to even think about the pain. Alright, let's do this. So apparently Gan's been racking up win after win at the casino with no sign of quitting anytime soon. Is greed really enough to make someone turn their back on everything they know? When he comes back, I'll be sure to give him one hell of a wake-up call. For only rumors, but apparently Gans is making a killing in the city's casino. Maybe we should have him throw us a party in exchange for making us worry. Spot the mayor hopping on the bus. He looks so depressed I could practically see the rain clouds above him. Did something happen to Gans? If Gans has been found, that means, oh no, there's gonna be another party tonight, isn't there? Preparing for one is always a pain. Biggs went all the way to Crossville City so he could see Gans. From what I heard, Gans has been acting very strange, disconcertingly so. What could have happened to him? You found Gans, right? Thanks, gosh. How's he doing? Can't tell if the Gans might be hooked on drugs. I'm worried Logie is just going to go right back to goofing off once Gans comes back. He's actually taking his job seriously. I pray he'll take the experience to heart and keep it going no matter what distraction. I swear I heard something like a bell ringing come from the ruins the last few days. That just suddenly vanished yesterday. I wonder what it was what it was actually. We may never know. So, I'm trying to think of the optimal route now. I'm gonna go to the north exit. No, there's no good way for it. Back alley. We'll deliver this, and then I need to go to Talus's. Is that trunk what I think it is? That's right, you agreed to leave it with us. Would you like to confirm its contents? Sweet Adios, it really is that nuts new doll. Could not fathom how you convinced him, but bravo. Not sure if we convinced him, or if he was just impressed by our raw stubbornness. Either way, it is a marvelous doll, isn't it? I've seen some before at a friend's place, but each one is truly a masterpiece. The craftsmanship takes one's breath away. I'm inclined to agree they're remarkable. I was expecting it to be about the same size as Kia, though. That sweet little girl you brought before, eh? There are Rosenberg studios that are about her height, yes. Jurg suddenly makes them, though, so you never see them on the market. So that's why they're said to fetch such outrageous prices at the auction. Perhaps older dolls are more her size. For example, I remember Belle's being a similar height. Really? I have a question, Imelda. Are you aware of the other dolls Rosenberg Studio has made? Other dolls? What do you mean? How about giant dolls that can move on their own? Ring any bells? Specifically ones that look like an angel and another with a big face? Oh, you perhaps talking about the Automato? If anything, I'd say those are actually his specialty. I've heard their movements have become even more precise since he started incorporating orbital technology in them. You know about them? You didn't? Even Arkansas uses them on stage from time to time. I believe the soldier with the spear in their latest production was an automaton. You mean the one that was twirling the spear around like it was nothing? Never would have guessed, not in a million years. Well, surprise, the troops sent an entire order for complex stage props too. Everything from the lighting apparatus to the water control to the wire flying system was entirely Jurg's handiwork. I suppose it's still far from being public knowledge, though. Well, my mind's blown. I will admit that I thought the stage was incorporating impressive tech. Does that mean that those angels and monsters function similarly? Who's to say? The old coot's full of mysteries, not to mention stubborn to the bone, and hates just about everyone he meets. As long as he puts out a new product every so often and lets me dip in on the profit, I don't have any complaints. Avery, you certainly didn't disappoint, dearie, so you'll be first on my list to call if I ever need a hand again. If you insist. Well then, if you will excuse us. sent us this way. So I don't remember if the kids were in that formation. Let's see. Husband's working outside in his office this morning. He's been fixated on that building for the longest time. Welcome to Talos' general store. Looking for anything in particular? Yes, actually, we're looking for some requiem flowers. I see. Did Mr. Quinn send you? That's right. Did he tell you that we'd be coming? No need to. He's one of our only customers who buys those flowers from us. Him and a sparse few other devoted individuals. Wait here just a sec, okay? Sure, we have some behind the counter somewhere. Thought we were gonna have to pay for him for a second there. I mean, the old man didn't exactly give us any beer. I don't know. He didn't strike me as the kind of person to pull something over on us like that. Perhaps, but it still would have been nice to have received a little more information about the request. Suppose that's true. He only tells the location of the flowers, nothing more, nothing less. Pardon me. Something wrong? Sorry, but looks like we're out of stock in those requiem flowers. You're all out. Suppose that's our luck. Again, I'm terribly sorry. Would you mind waiting for a bit? I'll ask the Bracer Guild if they could pick up some for me. The Bracers? I suppose they would be the ones to ask. Lloyd, why don't we go pick the flowers ourselves? Oh yeah. We'll let the Bracers suck up all the glory when we can do that no sweat. I second that. Sounds like we're all on the same page. We ourselves would be much more efficient than waiting on them anyway. Excuse me, do you happen to know where requiem flowers grow? I see you're planning to get them yourselves? You should find some blooming on the edge of the mains mountain path, about halfway down the branching road that leads to those old ruins, if I recall. Thanks, we'll go ahead and try looking for them. Wonderful, once more I apologize for the inconvenience. Please make sure to give Mr. Quinn my regards. So I'm just gonna hop over there so I don't have to waste time traveling. Okay, so skipping past all the monsters and crap. Requiem flowers. Blue ones are requiem flowers, right? Took us ages to find. No, right? Imagine how hard it would have blown if there weren't any here. Now you two. The flowers are here, so it was worth it, right? Got the job done, that's what counts. So you have to get past those annoying insta-kill moles to get here, so just a word of warning, a heads up. I'm going to skip to the next area because I really don't want to bother trying to squeeze around them and stuff, so I'll see you over there. Okay, so hopping over to the West Crossbell Highway, we are going to the Police Academy. So those are the enemies that I try to avoid when we're in these areas. And unfortunately the area is practically crawling with times. I think there's one right here. Yep. Police Academy is just beyond this road. I believe Lloyd enrolled in this academy to earn his detective's license. I have heard it is fully fitted with a plethora of training equipment. Yeah, not only that, it also functions as a joint training facility for the CPD and CGF. There's a long, winding path through the forest along with various training grounds just past the gate. Actually, I've never made the trip on foot before. You haven't? What's that supposed to mean? When I first arrived at the academy, I hitched a ride with a freighter that was headed there, and I trapped myself in the dorms for the following months after. No choice but to spend my entire time studying for the detective exam. I even had to give up my holidays. Never realized it was that difficult. You're yanking my chain, right, Lloyd? That's no way for a guy to live. You gotta ditch the textbooks during the weekend, my man. What better time to experience the nightlife at its fullest? I believe those crude standards apply only to a certain red-headed man. I kept telling myself I couldn't return to Crosswell City until I passed the exam and earned my license. The more I think back on it, the more childish it sounds. Hey, I caused the guy to despawn. Leavis flower. Aren't these yellow ones the Leavis flower we've been looking for? Probably a real pain for regular folk to pick them because of the location, yeah? It is right in front of the police academy. Considering how far apart these flower beds are scattered throughout Crossbell, it's fairly difficult to gather a three-color bouquet. Must be why most graves today are decorated with a single type of flower. Three-color bouquets are usually safe for funeral services. Learn something new every day. Traditions must face reality eventually. Guess that's true. Problem is, that one is still spawned. So we'll go ahead and hop over to Belgard Gate so we can talk to the NPCs there. I love the railway. I even get permission to take pictures of it. Pretty sure this is the CGS freight line. I wonder what kind of train will come. Can hardly wait. So you want to investigate the entirety of those creepy ruins. I admire your tenacity. I'd never be able to pull off something like that. We received a report yesterday about Tangram's Tangram Gate's investigation of those ruins off Maine's mountain path. The commander didn't give two hoots about it, though. Wouldn't be surprised if he tossed it in the trash. That's right, you guys stole our thunder and finished the investigation of those ruins. Damn it. If I was the commander, I would have never given the order to withdraw. Well, time for another long day of paperwork. Back when I first enlisted, I had an image in my head of what a CGF officer was. Wonder if I'm living up to that image. Now, take some time to breathe between bites. There are plenty of buses to and from the city, so we don't need to rush. Finally made my decision. After wrapping up all my work today, Operation Heartthrob is a go. Oh yeah? Then go break a leg, my friend. Typo. I prefer not to break anything if at all possible, my heart included. You know that fork in the road on the way to the gate? The police academy is further down that road. Quite a few people in the CGF Bellegarde division are stationed there. Now that the non-aggression pact is in place, Crossbell seem to have been placated, but is everything really fine? All we have are a couple of sad little iron gates separating us from the two superpowers. Both the Imperial and Republican armies can just show up and invade us whenever they feel like it. My buddy Burl over at Tangram Gate was practically crying tears of joy from the investigation of the ruins being over. You guys gave a helping handle to Sergeant Major during that ordeal, right? I don't know if handle is the correct term. I always hear helping hand, but it could be handle. Let me extend my thanks to you as well, Triple S. Tomorrow night we're traveling to the Nox Forest for a combat drill, equipped only with our standard issue gear. Crossbell and Guardian Force's standard issue weapons are stun halberds and assault rifles, both of which are mandatory to be trained in. That didn't stop a certain someone from ignoring the rules and only practicing with the stun halberds. Close combat happening my forte, so I couldn't help myself. I'm always down to give you a few pointers if you like. Some say my halberd skills are faster than a bullet. There you go again with that ego of yours. So I always thought he wasn't actually allowed to use a rifle because of his past. Like, if he ever got serious, he could throw down just like Shirley could. Because I think story-wise, the War God's already dead, just like Rutger. So you never get to see him in action unless they do a prequel game someday. Or come up with some sort of mechanism to revive the War God like they did Rutger. I think I realize how defenseless this gate really is when stuck here against the Empire's overwhelming might. If they were serious, I doubt this place would last long. The stairs keep going, like the stairs are behind the stairs. And I do that for both gates, if you notice. West exit. We need to go to the east side now. And there's more people to talk to here because we have Tangram Gate and Armorica. Starting to realize the reason why I remember this quest was because of all the new monsters. If it had been earlier in the game before they spawned, I probably wouldn't remember this one. Should I make lunch before heading to work today? I've gotten tired of eating at the Ash Tree Inn every day, so something new would be fun. Off camera, I did stop and completely unlock Ellie and Tio's orbits, and I gave Lloyd an extra slot. Wow, butterflies sure are out and about. Jake's not exactly the hard-working sort, so I always give him an earful when he slacks off. Every now and then he tells me, just you watch, I'll go to the city and make a name for myself. But yeah, if you have enough free time to do that, why don't you just learn how to run the shop properly? Grant's gave me another one of his angry lectures. At this point, maybe I really should ditch this place and move to Crossbell City. If I did that, then Grant would be stuck here all alone. Earlier, I baked an apple pie that we could have for an afternoon snack, but if Stefan doesn't hurry up, this tasty treat's gonna have to wait. You serious? No way. Stefan said he was gonna take the day off to rest back at the inn. Did he get sick? Might as well pay him a visit later. Yeah. What game are we gonna play today? I think the ones with lots of running. I like the ones with lots of running the most. Derek, the chief's son is trying his damnedest to modernize the village or something. If you ask me, our morgue is perfect just the way she is. Always has been. As far as I'm concerned, it'd be a right tragedy for our cozy little village just to turn into some copy of Crossbell City. nice that he has Crossbow City decided to modernize like they have. Why is our Morcus so intent on living in the past when the future is now? If we can't figure out those reasons, any hope of modernizing the village will disappear. My husband and her son always get into heated arguments due to their conflicting ideals. They never turn out well since neither is willing to compromise. There's no point in comparing Crossbow City with Armorca the way Derek does. Crossbow City is Crossbow City and Armorca Village is Armorca Village. It's by the goddess's will that each take their own form and serve their own purpose. Yep, no NPC. Slowly near the inn after only buying a cup of coffee, Cecilia came and hit me with her feather duster. The girl sure loves her mirror. Lucky for her. I just don't have the heart to say no. I'll order a light meal. Dad seems content with going with the flow, but I'd rather not live in poverty. Can't Derek come up with some other plan? We're acting more of a profit than we have in a long time with the food stall at the anniversary festival. My only goal when opening this inn was to create a place where villagers can unwind and enjoy a good meal. So I don't really care about turning a profit as long as I can keep the lights on. It's all I need. Don't tell anyone else though. Celia gets ticked off when she hears me say that. I can relate. Same thinking for me with this YouTube channel. Gamble Jack is starting to hook me. I can't wait to see how it ends. Hey, I know that book. If I remember correctly, Jack ends up... Not another word, you need to put a lid on that awful habit of yours, Gofan. Spoiling someone on how a story ends is plain unforgivable. Really, how many stories do you think you've ruined for me at this point? Sorry, Alfred, you won't hear a peep out of me about it anymore. What's this one, then? Stefan's never gotten much exercise, so imagine my surprise to see him running around the village like this. I'm so relieved. Seems like he's finally starting to become friends with the other kids here. Ow. I ran around just a little bit yesterday, now my legs are ready to fall off. How pathetic. Still, it was a lot of fun. That Fisherman's Guild member over there, all he does is cast his line and stare out into space. Looks pretty relaxing. Maybe someday I'll get to cast a rod, too. Don't hold your breath, lady. Saw a huge crowd of people while I was selling vegetables across the city this morning. Some kind of mopping dispute was going on here. Can't say I'm envious of city folk. So I don't remember where to find these. I didn't actually mean to run into it. I was trying to push the... Well, there's a bee. The problem is it doesn't drop the new materials. It's the frog that does. I may be on the complete wrong track. It's possible these things are like literally right at that starting area. So I'm gonna hop over to Belgard Gate and then we'll check our Tangram Gate, I mean. Crossbell City, a place where mafiosos run free throughout the streets. Sure sounds exciting. The stories of Crossbell being the continent's city of sin must have been true. A little shame that we ended up dumping the investigation on the Sergeant Major and you guys. As us ordinary guardsmen need to up our game if we're going to be good enough to tackle stuff like that ourselves. Everyone appreciates you all for backing up Sergeant Major's secret, the Moon Temple. The special support section really is no joke. Well, we're in your debt. If you need a helping hand, feel free to call Tangram Gate. Must be just that one tourist to talk to outside. The mess hall was running a bit low on ingredients, so I just stopped by to wholesale some to them. Now then, I want to keep Tomas waiting. Sure, I can bring the rest of the crates in before I get too carried away. I came to Crossbell seeking to sell goods from the Eastern Quarter. Considering there aren't any places that specialize in selling Eastern accessories, these are going to sell like hotcakes. We actually find loads of contraband during our inspections here, but too often all it takes is a bribe to the commander for them to be on their way. A system that turns a blind eye to evil and shows some mirror isn't moral. Cargo check all clear. Need your signature over here at the reception desk and you're all good to pass through. Should probably have thought of some plans for actually coming to Crossbell. I can always go to our Morgan village. One of my friends who visited during the festival said it was definitely a must-see. Burrell seems to finally recovered from that sky mission of his. Even managed to get back to guard duty. Finally cuts me a break thinking, he knows patrolling an area you're not used to is seriously draining. Guess I'll grab a bite to eat before heading back to work. Lately, people have been traveling all the way to Tangram Gate just for our food. Having a customer come back for another meal is the best compliment a chef could get. Deputy Commander Bales makes sure not to put too much on a guardsman's plate throughout the day. If we were drained when stuff really hits the fan, we'd be done for. You guys should stay in tip-top shape too. You have to be ready for anything. In the end, the guardsmen weren't able to finish the investigation. You four plus the Sergeant Major had to take over. Guess when push comes to shove, you are just better than us right now. Well, as one of Deputy Commander Bale's guardsmen, I don't plan on giving up. I see, so these are your discoveries in the Moon Temple investigation. Good work, Seeker. Special support section are the ones you should be complimenting, ma'am. Without them, this investigation would have been a success. So, ma'am, what do you think we should do about all this? You described your report of Bella seems to summon fiends, correct? If my hunch is right, it might have something to do with the artifacts. Plan to consult Archbishop Rerolled about his opinion on the matter. Sounds like a smart decision, ma'am. If you want, I can go ahead and contact the cathedral and try to set up a meeting. Please do. We really appreciate your help yesterday, everyone. I couldn't have done it without you. When I went to inform the Deputy Commander of our success, she asked me to put together the report ASAP, so I did, of course. She hoped the Septine Church will cooperate with us. Without their expertise and help, we'll be unable to uncover the truth behind that bell. Good work, everyone. Your investigation was a success. Though we still may not know the exact cause of the incident, you managed to put a stop to both the bell and those monsters. You could have asked for a better outcome. You can leave the rest of the investigation to the Guardian Force. Okay, I don't think there's no one out here anymore. It was just during the festival. Let's go up to the 3rd floor, talk to people on the roof, and we'll be on our way. Thank goodness it didn't take too long for Burrell to get back on his feet. Some CGF guardsman he is, getting scared by monsters so bad he fainted? Seriously uncool, man. When we went to scout out that temple, I got spooked real bad by some monsters. I was bedridden for a while, actually. Didn't mean to be such a burn on everyone. I gotta work harder than ever to make it up to them. Let's see if it's literally right there. Because otherwise, I don't know what other watchtower there would be here. I was thinking it was the rest stop area at first. Fine flower. Oh, these white ones are fine flowers, aren't they? The location is fairly close across Wilsay, so I imagine people frequently come by here to pick them. Doubt any strong monsters are chilling at a place like this. Regardless, weaker monsters are still a threat to children and the elderly. True enough. Shall we get going? We need to go to Main's Mountain Path to deliver these now. We can go ahead and report these just to get the money for them, but I doubt we're going to get enough points off these to level up. I know the Dial quest actually is up there in terms of reward, just because how difficult / annoying it is. We're back, Mr. Quint. Faster than I expected. Did you get the flowers? Yes, please check to make sure we get the right ones. Hanover Levis, Requiem, and Finel. These are the ones, alright. Your efforts are much appreciated, Special Support Section. Just doing our job, sir. You know, those flowers took way more work than I was expecting. Even Talus has run out. What are the odds of that? Well, we still managed. Sir, may I ask you something? What is it? It's not particularly common to gather these 3 specific flowers except for funerals nowadays. What exactly did you need them for? You're right that there's no funeral at the moment. Since you helped me pick them, come with me and we'll go to place them together. You'll get your answer afterwards. What is he talking about? Beats me. Guess we'll see when we get there. Here lies Saya McLean. You can see she was 24 when she died. Ghislaine. Could this be Arios' wife? On to the next one. And the name's worn off this one. Here lies... This one's seen better days. Can't even make out whose name is on it. Perhaps the gravekeeper knows? Here's the last one. I don't remember what year was it decided. It was just a second ago, but yeah, I tried to figure out, did she outlive Guy or not? Here lies Guy Bannings. Is this who I think it is? Lloyd's older brother. The reason I asked you to gather those 3 flowers is pretty simple. I wanted to give them to Guy Bannings and the families of those who were precious to him. It's only natural to want to show respect to one's closest friends, right? Sir, did you know Guy Bannings? That's right, doubt I could forget him even if I tried. Back when he was alive, he often came by to visit me in my cabin. We'd share drinks and stories till the sun rose. Never had a family, you see, so I can't tell you how many times his company saved this old man. I had no idea. Starting to understand the nature of this support request. When it came time for his funeral, felt like I was torn to shreds. Your name was Lloyd, right? So you must be Guy's younger brother. You know who I am? I remember first catching a glimpse of you at your brother's funeral. Then once I saw that picture of you in the Crosswell Times 4 months ago, it jogged my memory. Your faces aren't anything alike, but I'm starting to see the resemblance. I don't think I'm anywhere near him yet when it comes to being a detective, though. Lloyd. Actually, there's another reason I submitted such an annoying job to the Triple S. I need to ascertain firsthand whether you 4 Guy's successors had grown any. And, did we make the grade? You finished the job, so that's something. However, you're still rough around the edges. Damn, a bit harsh, don't you think? That said, I think the special sports section has a bright future ahead. There's a chance you'll catch up to or maybe even overtake Guy one day. And when that happens, come back here and pay me a visit. We'll share some drinks, the same as I did with Guy. Alright, I'm looking forward to it. Your older brother lives on through a lot of people, doesn't he? I agree. Through me as well. Catching up to a guy that talented ain't the easiest thing in the world. It's going to take quite a while, I bet. Honestly, that goal might end up being a bigger barrier than taking down the Mafia or Crossbell's corruption, you know. You said it. And yet, I will surpass him someday. I have to. Looks like I talked your ears off. Time to head back inside. Thanks to you, I was able to pay my respects to my dear friends. I can't thank you enough for that. If something else ever comes up, I'll make sure to contact you again. We'll be waiting. Goodbye, sir. And he just repeats that. Oh well. So I'm actually curious. $11.99, so Guy died 2 years later. I think we've talked to all the NPCs, it's just I'm not going to have enough time, so this one's gonna... I need to figure out how I'm going to break this one down. I'm thinking that I may just want St. Ursula to be its own video and when I report these quests, call it, so... Flowers only worth 3. That's worth 8. So like I said, I wasn't really expecting to rank up after we got that other one, but the Stragas certainly do help. So when we pick up next time, we'll actually do the pill stuff, and, well, we'll see how many scenes we get bogged down with before the day comes to an end. I'm the Hero of Light, thanks for watching, and goodbye.